Have you ever watched something and felt like it should have inspired you, but instead just ended up making you feel bad? Throughout my creative journey, there's been plenty of times that I'd walk away from watching one of my favorite movies or series or even YouTube channels, and instead of feeling inspired and motivated to go out and shoot something, I'd find myself wondering how the these people were able to develop such rich and iconic styles of their own. Some people have been so successful at finding their own style that it can be identified on the spot. Take Wes Anderson with his cult-like following, the beautiful symmetric shots, the clever storytelling, the pastel color palettes. Christopher Nolan, he dominates box offices with his unparalleled ability to create immersive worlds on the screen. Even here on YouTube, creators like Gerald Undone or Aidan Robbins or Marquez Brownlee have effectively become synonymous with the styles that they've managed to pioneer. It can be easy to see a master at their work, marvel at their ability to create and stand out, and come to the conclusion that they're just a one in a million talent who was born with that creative genius. But what if I told you that you could develop your own style too, just like they did, by following just a few simple but important steps? Today, I want to give you guys 3 tips that I've used to identify and develop my own style and can hopefully help you move forward in creating with more intention and more confidence in your creative journey. Okay, bear with me here. I know it might sound a bit strange when I say that one of the tricks to finding your own creative identity is to copy the works of others. Yeah, I know. Photographers and filmmakers have created this kind of shameful stigma around the idea of copying. This is especially true in the age of social media. People are posting content daily and rightfully want to protect their social aesthetic. And look, I get it. In no way am I saying that you should steal someone's work, post it directly on your own, claim it as your own. But I do think that we should all be honest about how important and frankly unavoidable copying can be. Jim Jarmusch is an independent filmmaker whose work stands out from the mainstream films being produced today. By pretty much every standard, you could look at Jarmusch's movies, his emphasis on simple yet striking shots, his excellent character development, and say that his style is original. You know who wouldn't agree with that? Jim Jarmusch. He once said, "Nothing is original. Steal from anywhere that resonates with inspiration or fuels your imagination." This idea, like his mindset, it comes from an understanding that all art is influenced, whether intentional or not, by what came before it. So what does this mean for us, for creators? Well, find a piece of work that inspires you. Maybe a movie you watched recently or a YouTube video that really caught your eye. Pick a shot or scene and practice trying to recreate it. Now, look, I get it. Some of you might think that this approach is wrong or cheating, but think about it this way. ShotDeck, a site literally built as a catalog of frames from movies to inspire and help filmmakers plan their projects. Every year, they put on a huge competition with awards and prizes and cash for shot recreation. In fact, this is such a commonly used practice that even the American Society of Cinematographers supports and endorses this competition. So jump in and start practicing recreating. One huge tip that I've learned is instead of attempting to take on a full scene and make a perfect one-to-one copy, break things down into individual components rather than attempting to recreate the entire thing at once. Maybe work on just composition or lighting a certain way, or maybe even the editing style. The challenging reality of this strategy of recreation is some shots may be a little unachievable due to certain restrictions or a lack of resources. For instance, you may not have the ability to shoot at the perfect location. Maybe you don't have actors or friends that could be in a scene for you. One unique component to filmmaking that you can absolutely recreate in just about any of your work is color. Now, maybe you're thinking, how? Like, let's be real. Programs like DaVinci Resolve have a very steep learning curve. and achieving cinematic results in your footage can take a lot of practice. To which I answer, Cinema Grade. This is an incredibly intuitive color grading plugin that works inside of your editor. It works inside of Premiere, Final Cut, even DaVinci. It has a unique approach and flow to how you actually grade the image, with point and click color grading that makes the process feel a lot more like editing a photo inside of something like Lightroom. This allows creators to achieve those big, cinematic, very professional looking colors without all of the complex understanding of the tools inside of a program like DaVinci. A big benefit is it can also introduce you to a more standardized color workflow in your editor. By being able to bring in all of your clips into a coloring suite at one time, this effectively allows for a much faster and efficient way to match and color correct between all of your shots, and also being able to apply your final grade across the entire project. Cinema Grade allows for a simple and effective way to experiment with color in your videos. So maybe find some movie references for color grades you want to try and recreate, bring them into Cinema Grade. You can use a screenshot as a reference frame, and even without all of the skills and the finite understanding of color, you can achieve some pretty spot on results. I think it's pretty cool. This program was created by a professional industry colorist. Some of you may know him here on YouTube, Denver Riddle. His channel, Color Grading Central, talks all about color, gives some amazing tutorials. It starts at just a one-time payment of $69. One-time payments are kind of hard to find nowadays, and Denver is offering you guys an extra 20% off if you're interested. If you use my code RyanCow20 and click the link down in the description. Thank you, Cinema Grade, for supporting this video. It may be hard to believe at first, but hidden in your early work are traces of that creative style you're chasing to develop. Our creative eye and styles are deeply woven into the fabric of who we are. I mean, it's hard to believe, but they truly are a reflection of our experiences, our passions, our perspectives on the world. This inherent style that you're looking for isn't just something that you figure out overnight. It's there from the beginning. Even when you're just starting out, navigating the waters of what it's like to become an artist, how to tell a story. There's most likely raw and unrefined nuggets of our personal style. And they may be subtle, like maybe you're just drawn to a particular perspective. You like framing things on the bottom of the frame. You like wide angle, or you have a favored color scheme. They seem small or unimportant, but they're there. The important thing is treat your own work like you would treat a movie from your favorite director. Don't ever write anything off. Just because it's a video you did 5 years ago and you're so much better now, doesn't mean that there's not still some value and importance in being able to look back and reflect and study that work. Sometimes I find myself going back and kind of like binge watching some of my old stuff, mostly cringing at myself, but often I kind of think back to that particular time, what my headspace was, why I made certain creative choices. While some of those old videos may seem totally pointless, there's so much hidden value in looking back on your own work. Just as we evolve and grow as individuals, our creative vision should be allowed to grow and change. While finally finding your niche can be rewarding and exciting, it's important to not confine yourself to it too strictly. Creativity thrives on the openness to exploration and innovation, not restriction. In the pursuit of maintaining a specific niche or certain feel within your videos or your photos that you're posting, you kind of run the risk of authenticity taking a bit of a backseat. It's important to remember that your work should be a reflection of who you are at any given moment. It's a vessel to communicate your ideas, your emotions, your perspectives. If you box yourself into a set style or genre, you may end up muffling your own voice and limiting that creative potential. Remember, your creativity is intrinsically tied to your life experiences. As we take different paths, meet new people, explore unfamiliar cultures, or just grow older, our viewpoint and interpretation of the world around us is bound to shift. These experiences will endlessly mold your creative vision. Allow these changes to seep into your work and let your style adapt and grow with you. You might be surprised by the fresh perspectives and innovative ideas that can emerge by the openness to change.